Is America truly a democratic country? Or is it just a beautiful illusion that has been given to the people for 2 centuries? This question is not only political but also historical. The founders of America, who are today called the Founding Fathers, had a secret plan behind the slogan of freedom. Their goal was to create a system where the power of the people was limited. This was the hidden plan that overthrew true democracy even before it was born. When the American Revolution broke out in 1776, the people rose up against the monarchy. Their slogans were liberty and equality, but in practice the story was something else. Power passed into the hands of a new elite that was an educated, wealthy, and influential class. Fearing the power of the people, they created a system that looked democratic, but was in reality elitist. This was the moment when democracy became a dream. The Founding Fathers considered democracy dangerous. James Madison had said, "Democracy is the most vile form of government." According to him, the people are emotional, irrational, and selfish. That is why he proposed the concept of a republic, a system in which public opinion would be indirect and limited. This was his first step to prevent true democracy. Alexander Hamilton was also against democracy. They believed that the common people were not capable of running the government. They believed that power should be in the hands of the rich and well-born. Hamilton's words implied that popular government was actually a threat to the elite. Thus, an intellectual foundation was laid against democracy. John Adams also reinforced this thought. He said that popular government often turns into anarchy. According to him, the people should always be guided by a wise elite. Wow. These statements reflect the thought that the founders of America did not believe in true democracy. Rather, they wanted a controlled democracy, which we can today call a managed republic. Now, let's come to the Constitution of the United States. The U.S. Constitution of 1787 was apparently a symbol of freedom and justice, but the balance of power within it was shaped in such a way that the role of the people was limited. The Senate, the Electoral College, and the Supreme Court, these 3 institutions were actually tools to control popular power. This was the master plan of institutional control. Take the example of the Electoral College. The people do not directly elect the president. Rather, it is elected by representatives who are controlled by the political elite. This system was designed in such a way that the popular majority could always be balanced. This secret plan kept the public's wishes outside the circle of power. The spirit of democracy was weakened here. The Senate was also part of the same philosophy. This institution represents the interests of the states and the elite rather than the people. In the early days, senators were not directly elected by the people, but by the state assemblies. Thus, the right of the people to be represented was filtered once again. This was democracy by permission, not by the will of the people, but by approval. The Supreme Court was also given a special role in the balance of power. Judges are appointed for life so that they are protected from public pressure. This is why the court often made decisions contrary to public demands. This court became a pillar that protected the elite, not democracy. Thus, all 3 institutions became the guardians of the same thought. In the 1800s, there were attempts to lay the foundation for true democracy, but obstacles were raised each time. The poor, women, and slaves were denied the right to vote. All of these were examples of control through policy. The doors of democracy were kept open only to a select few. This was an era when the slogan freedom had become a mere facade. When the Industrial Revolution came, political power was further concentrated in a few hands. The capitalist class and the political elite formed a new alliance. Investment, the media, and policy all came under their control. It was a time when economic control strengthened political control. Democracy became more of a sham. Historians like Howard Zinn said that American history is a story of people's struggle. According to them, the people have always fought against real power. In every era, power has been in the hands of the elite, and the people have only been deceived into representation. This secret plan has over time transformed into a system itself, a system that is called democracy, but runs on controlled power. Noam Chomsky called it manufactured consent. That is, the people are given the same thoughts that the powerful want through the media, education, and politics. In this way, public opinion itself becomes a weapon. This system keeps the people apparently free, but imprisons them from the inside. This is the modern version of the old plan of the Founding Fathers of America. If we look at today's America, the same pattern persists. The 2 major parties, Democrat and Republican, are both 2 sides of the same power. The corporate lobby, the military industry, and the media are all interconnected. The public voice still filters its way to the top. This is the managed democracy designed by the Founding Fathers. At the time of elections, the public thinks they are making a decision, but in reality, they are choosing one of the predetermined options. This is not democracy, but the illusion of choice. This is the secret philosophy that has kept the system stable for 2 centuries. The power is still not with the people, but with the elite. This plan has changed over time, but its foundation has remained the same: distrust of the people. Even the amendments made to the Constitution could not completely change this thinking. There have been a few reforms, but the structure of the system has remained the same. The reins of power are still in the hands of a few. This is the hidden legacy of the Founding Fathers of America. Today, when we talk about democracy, we should understand that this system was never perfect. It was always built for the benefit of some class or the other. Behind the curtain of democracy, the dynamics of power are always hidden. This is a game where the people only have the vote, not the power. This is the biggest fallacy against true democracy. Many historians now say that the founding fathers' goal was not democracy but stability. They were afraid of chaos, so they kept the people out of power. This decision was for temporary gain, but it had an impact for centuries. Their secret plan is no longer a part of history, but a part of everyday politics. This same plan is breathing life into today's political structure. Now the question is, are we really living in a democratic society? Or are we just part of a system that is hiding the power of the elite under the guise of democracy? This question is not just for America, but for every country in the world, because this model of control has now become global. Democracy is now a brand, not of power, but of perception. Finally, a question for the audience. Can true democracy ever be possible? Or will the powerful class always control the power of the people in some form or another? If democracy is just a concept, then where is the people's authority? Be sure to give your opinion in the comments, because this is the dialogue that creates change.